I came to Manchester as a 6-year-old in 1959, and my father liked to take his 3 daughters out, though strangely I don't really remember coming to the galleries with my sisters, so I imagine that they stopped coming and I continued to be interested. I particularly remember the City Art Gallery, and the fact that I still call it the City Art Gallery and not the Manchester Art Gallery, and the Salford Art Gallery. And having now looked at the history of the Whitworth, I realised the Whitworth must have been closed because there was a major building work carried out here. But it opened, I'm going to guess, in the mid-60s. And exhibitions that I particularly remember here were the Northern Young Contemporaries, which the first year was 1965, and they occurred every second year. And I was always very interested to see what the works were. There was a competition, so they were students, and they were very new, interesting things. But around the 60s, and I'm going to guess it was 65, 66, I had to make choices at school. And by that stage in my life, I decided I wanted to become an architect. And my father was very clear that I had to do physics. And if I did physics, I couldn't do art. And I think it must have been about that time that I became a young friend of the Whitworth. I have not a great deal of memories, but I do remember coming to a party here once, and coming to a party in the 60s involved spending the day or two beforehand shortening my skirt, because if you were going to look your best, you had to come in a very short skirt. So that part I remember very well, and I remember often coming to the gallery. I remember the Edoardo Palozzi piece of sculpture, and I remember tapestries on the walls. One of the things that I also particularly remember was a mobile which hung over the staircase, which I have now looked up, and was done by Alan Dudley. I'm pretty sure it must still be in the collection somewhere in the basement, and I would like to see it put back. It's a very large copper mobile, and I remember my father standing at the top of the stairs blowing, and just by blowing for long enough you could make the mobile move, otherwise it was stationary.